Azamgarh district, Uttar Pradesh, India. A 20-year-old handloom weaver named Lal Bihari walks into the local revenue office to request a residence certificate. Paperwork he needs to apply for a small bank loan. The clerk checks the records and delivers the news flatly, without ceremony. According to the government, Lal Bihari is dead. He is standing directly in front of the man telling him this. Bihari stands there for a moment, waiting for the clerk to notice the obvious problem with his own statement. The clerk does not. In the world of Indian land records, a stamped entry carries more institutional weight than the physical presence of the person that entry describes. Paper has outranked flesh, and the clerk sees no contradiction worth mentioning. The explanation, once Bihari pieces it together, is almost mundane in its cruelty. His uncle had paid a local records official the equivalent of a few dollars, roughly 300 rupees, to register Lal Bihari as deceased. On paper, that single bribe transferred ownership of Bihari's 1-acre ancestral landholding directly to his uncle. No violence, no confrontation. Just ink, a stamp, and a small enough bribe that nobody thought to question it. The official who accepted that bribe likely processed dozens of similar requests that same year, each one a small, unremarkable transaction in a system where the paper trail carries more legal authority than the person it describes. For the official, it was routine. For Bihari, it was the quiet erasure of his entire legal existence. In much of rural Uttar Pradesh at the time, this isn't even considered particularly unusual. Land is scarce, families are large, and quietly bribing a records clerk to declare an inconvenient relative dead is, according to the lawyers Bihari consults, a common enough scheme that reversing it could take years. It takes 19. Lal Bihari's first instinct is almost logical in the strangest possible way. If being declared dead requires an official process, maybe being undeclared requires the same kind of official attention. And the fastest way to get a government official to acknowledge you exist is to get arrested. He kidnaps his own cousin, the son of the uncle who took his land, hoping police will have no choice but to charge him with a crime, which would require them to first establish that he, the alleged kidnapper, is a real, living, chargeable person. The police declined to press charges. Their reasoning, delivered without apparent irony: you can't arrest a dead man. Bihari escalates. He legally adds the word Mritak, meaning dead, directly into his own name, and insists people address him as Lal Bihari Mritak from that point forward. A permanent, walking reminder of his own bureaucratic status. He organizes a full mock funeral procession through the streets of Azamgarh, inviting local officials to come bury him properly, since the paperwork already says he's qualified. He has his own wife formally apply for a widow's pension, listing her husband as deceased, and when officials reject her application because her supposedly dead husband is standing right there in the office with her, Bihari demands the rejection letter in writing, calling it the first piece of paper the Indian government had ever produced, acknowledging he might, in fact, be alive. When none of that moves the courts fast enough, he goes political. Lal Bihari files nomination papers to run for parliament against sitting Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi in 1989, and later against Prime Minister V.P. Singh. He has no realistic path to winning either race and doesn't need one. Indian election law requires the Election Commission to verify the identity and existence of every registered candidate, which means, for the first time in over a decade, a branch of the Indian government is legally required to confirm that Lal Bihari is a real, living person. Along the way, he discovers he is nowhere close to alone. Across Uttar Pradesh, he finds dozens, then hundreds of other people who had been quietly erased from official existence by relatives chasing the exact same small plots of inherited land. He founds an organization to represent them. the Uttar Pradesh Association of Dead People. Membership eventually grows into the thousands. On June 30th, 1994, after 19 years, 6 months, and 23 days of being legally deceased, a district magistrate finally reviews Bihari's case properly and formally restores his status to alive. He does not seek revenge on the uncle who started it all. He allows the man to continue farming the disputed land, apparently satisfied that the fight itself had accomplished something larger than 1 acre of property. He later says the goal was never really about reclaiming the land itself. By the time his status was restored, the acre in question was worth relatively little. What mattered was forcing a system that had erased him on a whim to spend 19 years admitting, one grudging step at a time, that erasure that easy should never have been possible in the first place. In 2003, Lal Bihari is awarded the Ig Nobel Peace Prize, a satirical honor recognizing achievements that first make people laugh, then make them think, for what the citation calls his prolific post-mortem activism. He is unable to personally travel to the United States to accept the award. His visa application is delayed by bureaucratic complications, tracing back to the same government records that, for nearly 2 decades, insisted he did not exist. The irony does not escape him. The same system he spent 19 years forcing to admit he was alive now finds a new, smaller way to complicate his life on paper, decades after the original battle was supposedly won. Bureaucracies, it turns out, rarely forget entirely, even after they've been proven wrong. Hit like if the paperwork terrified you more than the crime did. Subscribe, there's another impossible true story next week.